Welcome friends, to this video we're going to be learning how to sketch the skeleton. So over on the right of your screen I have a reference, on the left side is where we're going to be drawing it. So let's first start and mark down our proportions. First thing I'll do is draw a circle for the cranium, and then I will take down a third of that to get the mandible or the jaw, and then I'll go ahead and close in the rest of the head there. Now, once I have that, I'm going to take a vertical line straight down, and that will be where we draw our landmarks. You can do this a couple ways. I'm going to do the 8 head method, so 8 head links in the body. And so in order to do that, I'm going to mark down 7. So there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once we have that, we can calculate the width. So what I'll do first is about a quarter of the way down here first would be the neck, and then the shoulders. So let's go ahead and take the width here, and from the side of the head approximately, we'll come down to that first neck and draw the shoulder. And then we'll do the other side here. So length of the head starting at the outside of the head over there. Now we can do the width of the body. So we'll take the width of the head, we'll come down right above the second head mark, and starting in the middle instead of the outside of the head, we're going to mark our rib. And then we'll do the other side here. All right, now we can start to fill in our skeleton. So then we'll do the ribs here first. And the ribs kind of look like an upside down heart. And if you're interested, I have videos that I've created for all of the skeleton to help you out with more specifics. So for example, we can get more detail about the ribs or the sternum and the costal arch. So for example, costal arch comes up right about here, which is a quarter of the way down from the nipple. And then it curves back up here. So we won't go into the specifics, but that is pretty much all we'll do here for the ribs. I'm gonna come in a little bit closer here. All right, now that we have the ribs, we can do the pelvis, and the pelvis is approximately the same width. It's gonna start a quarter of the way down on the next mark, and we can do kind of a parentheses type mark. Same thing over here. The bottom is going to be at this line, and then we'll do this curve down and curve back up, and then the hip joints are actually going to be right there at the bottom. So let's go ahead and draw those in, and then we'll do an S curve at the bottom of the pelvis, just underneath that line. All right, so now that we have the pelvis, we can go ahead and do the hips. The hip joint, we're gonna draw the knee, which is pretty close to underneath that hip. I'm gonna do an X for the condyles, and same thing over here under this hip joint. Do a little X. And so the femur has this great trochanter that comes out here, a little bit wider, and then it's gonna curve back into the body. And it also depends on how far your feet are apart. So we'll illustrate that in a little bit here. In fact, I'm gonna move this one in a little bit closer. All right, now that we have that, we can do the feet. So right underneath the ankles, I'm gonna do kind of a little bit of a triangle there. Do a little bit of a triangle. Show the arch of the foot there. All right, now once we have that, we can draw the tibia and the fibula. All right, so now we have the legs. I don't feel quite exactly comfortable with the leg there. I think it was bowed in a little bit. So let's fix that. All right, that looks better. All right, now that we have the legs, we can go ahead and do the shoulders and then the arms. So this right here is called a acromion on the top of your shoulder, and it's where the clavicle attaches. So about the second rib, the clavicle comes down and back up, and then over to that acromion. And then down here and down and back up. All right, so now that we have that, we can go ahead and draw in the shoulder. So here's the shoulder girdle right underneath that acromion. And then the shoulder blade, or the scapula, comes down to right about this line and then curves back up. Comes down here, curves inside the body. All right, so now we can draw the humerus. The humerus comes down to about the bottom of the ribs. We can sketch those in. And then the wrist comes down to the bottom of the pelvis. We can sketch that in. And your hands might be out further, they might be close, depends on the posture. And so let's go ahead and draw the humerus. And it's got a similar structure as the femur, that joint in here. And then we'll draw the ulna next, which is the outside forearm bone, and then the radius. So ulna, and then radius. And now we can draw the hand. So I'll just draw a thumb and some fingers coming down here. Thumb and some fingers, and the fingers come up quite a bit down, almost halfway probably to that femur. All right, I think that'll do it for this video. If you have any questions or suggestions even of video tutorials you'd like to see, leave those in the comments, and I will work my way through a series of anatomy, and I can't wait to share those with you, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any of those, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.